Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming, and subbing on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Kingsguard, Leandros' Path. So yeah, before we jump into it, just want to let y'all know that our Patreon is now up for as little as $5. Y'all can help support the channel, get some awesome rewards like permanent access to our community Discord server and full access to upcoming Not Safe for Work videos. Anyway, y'all, to go ahead and jump right back in. Alarm Chan, you are up, and let's go. Alright. Supplies began to run low. With the attack on Havana, the ship's captain took in far too many passengers for escape, and things had to now be rationed out sparingly. For Ramos, that meant no more splurging on ale and food. Leandros and Kashiro opted to forego a few meals in order to keep you fed, but you assured them of their duty towards you. The last thing you needed was malnourished bodyguards wasting away with little energy left to protect you. Not you needed the food anyway. You barely felt hungry since you hardly moved around the ship. You began to notice that you were losing a bit of weight as well. The only pleasant thing about the voyage was the sailing weather with the warm sun, blue skies, and gentle waves. But even that seemed to come to an end. A cloudburst furiously beat down upon the ship, and high winds stirred the waves into a frenzy. You woke to a blinding flash that pierced through your eyelids. A tremulous thunder shook your bed and rattled the wood. The ship was at the mercy of the sea as it rocked back and forth and groaned in agony. You were flung out of your bed and loose items rolled all over the floor. Carefully, you picked yourself up, thankful that you had healed enough to move with more ease. Who the hell is steering this thing? Could they at least try to be a little more gentle? You rubbed at your sides and tried to stay standing, but the shifting floor forced you to grab onto something for stability. My stomach. You decided to leave the room. The rocking was getting to be too much. As you stepped out into the hall, you found people simply lounging about with buckets held close. The sound of sloshing, dry heaving, and moaning started to make you even more seasick. You jumped over a particularly nasty-looking pile of regurgitated food and headed out onto the deck. The storm appeared to be far worse than what you had thought. The rain showed no signs of letting up, and fog covered the deck and shrouded your vision. You couldn't see anyone else but sailors busy dashing back and forth along the deck. They yelled over the howling winds, and a few slipped, skidded, and fell down like wet soap on a bathroom floor. The ship rocked sharply once more, and you braced yourself in the doorway. Within the crowd of men, you spied Ramos and Leandros doing their part to help out. "It's dangerous out here." The voice came from behind you. His clothes were drenched and his fur was spiked and disheveled. He looked a bit shoddy, and it was pretty comical to see him in such a way. He stepped out of his way, and he went out onto the deck. "Any idea when the storm will end?" You had to raise your voice. The rain, the wind, the waves, the thunder, and the men yelling were all competing for his attention. "I don't know too much about weather at sea, so I can't say when it will subside. Personally, I prefer to avoid stepping onto a ship. Being surrounded by water puts you in an inconvenient situation. Being caught out here and waiting for the mercy of nature is one of them." Oh. A guttural roar reverberated through the air. It was deep and coarse, and it almost sounded like a wounded beast. An enormous wounded beast. The ship shook as though it had slammed into a rock, and Kashiro held onto you before you slipped. A moment later, a shark-like beastman began to bark out orders, and the workers quickened their pace. "What was that?" "Jake, get back inside!" Some of the workers began to cry out. Others screamed and ran like maniacs, and the sharkman yelled even more. "I can't hear him. What's he saying?" "Get inside." "Why? What's wrong?" "Just get inside!" The ship shook as though it had crashed into something large. Unable to keep balance, you tumbled out of the doorway and slid forward onto the wet deck. The entire crew grew silent as everyone recovered from the tremor. It took you a moment to gain your bearings, but once you did, you discovered why it became so quiet. A foul scent in the air mixed with the freshness of the rain. It was undeniably familiar. Everyone on the ship was turned in the same direction, looking off of the ship in awe. A few backed up sailors stumbled over their own feet. A thin outline of a shadow rose out of the sea, higher and higher until it was taller than the main mast. It loomed over the ship, and a pair of sharp, sinister eyes pierced through the darkness. It had a long, slender body, and each flash of lightning revealed shimmering scales. You traced fins along its back up to its enormous head, where a pair of wing-like ears flapped. The beast's eyes scanned the ship, searching for something, until it rested on you. It opened its mouth, and you saw row after row of swords for fangs as it reeled its head back and dove down. The deckhands scattered away as the beast sunk its teeth into the ship, ripping into the railing and sending splinters flying. Second yell, one more time. "Oh my god, we're getting a sea monster!" The crew members nearest to it either became trapped within the jaws of the beast, were thrown backwards, or flipped overboard into the sea. You fell flat on your back. The force was too strong for Kashiro to keep hold of you, and he was sent to the other side of the ship. You looked back up. The monster's face was mere feet away and its eyes still glued to you. It tried to open its mouth again to bite, but it appeared to be stuck. "Kill him while he's down!" The shark beastman cried as he charged forward with a cutlass waving in the air. When a few sailors moved forth, most of them stunned by the size of the creature. "Jake!" Kashiro rushed up from behind you, dragging you back away from the snake-like beast, but it didn't take kindly to that. The creature wiggled around more, rocking the ship as it tried to open its mouth again to get closer to you. "What the hell is that thing?" "Forget about that. Let's just go back. Let's just get you back inside." You tried to stand, but your feet refused to listen. "Hey, we're fighting for our lives now, boys. Get that wretched beast and send it to hell." Without delay, anyone who was able to forget their fears and grabbed a weapon, be it a blade at their side or a piece of broken wood, and ran towards the beast. You spotted both Ramos and Leandros to the front, both violently attempting to slay the beast. The creature wiggled in pain as pole arms and blades hacked away at its face. A few dug so deep they were unable to be removed. "Leo, do it!" "Ah!" The beast howled in pain as the lion charged forth, piercing its eye and permanently blinding it with his sword. As he pulled it out, he dodged out of the way, narrowly missing as the creature swung its head to and fro. It was a miracle that Leandros had gotten away, but a few unfortunate men were flung off the ship and into the dark, stormy waters below. "I got you!" A pair of arms wrapped around your waist and hoisted you back once more from slipping overboard as well. To think it would be our luck to incur the wrath of the Leviathan! Leviathan? But it's not supposed to exist! I think our eyes beg to differ. Hold tight! Each rocking of the ship made you feel more and more nauseous, but at least Kashiro kept you from going overboard. When you talked with Marilyn and Esther about their travels, you thought they were joking about being attacked on the seas. A monster attacking the ship? It was something you had read about in fairy tales. The surge of adrenaline coursed through your veins, and though you were in grave danger, this all excited you. The ship seemed to be safe for the moment, and a few of the sailors cried out in cheer. "Keep your arms ready, fools! We haven't seen the last of it!" "Jake, get down!" As if responding to the captain's warning, a large, sinuous tail slapped the deck of the ship, crushing several more underneath. Rope that kept barrels and other merchandise tied down snapped, and various goods of all shapes and sizes began to roll and bounce dangerously along the deck. The tail continued its rampage, swiping back and forth, knocking down deckhands and slamming into the ship's masts. Again, the workers moved forwards, attacking the creature with intense fervor. The creature's scales splattered onto the deck as the sailors attempted to slice through its dense skin, and the boat began to show signs of cracking. The ship's groans harmonized with the beast's growl. Sooner or later, one would fall, but with how wild the beast was still fighting, you already guessed which would win in the end. With how valiantly everyone was fighting, it would soon be for naught. He looked around through the chaos, hoping to find some means of escape, a lifeboat or anything. Heeding Kashiro's advice to head back into the ship wasn't ideal. There was no way a single piece of driftwood would ever make it back to harbor. The beast retreated, diving back down to the deep like that, and like that everyone became quiet once more. "Bring the ship to full power! Get us out before it comes back!" 1 second, y'all. Water time. Alright, y'all, and we are back. Okay. The crew scurried along the deck, still just as disorganized. They pulled the mast taut, and you could feel the ship jerk as it began to speed up. You could feel it deep in your heart. There was no escape. It was going to come back, and this time the ship wouldn't survive another hit. You picked yourself back up off the floor and rushed over to the side, hoping to find some sort of lifeboat. As you peered down into the water below you, you saw a faint light begin to rise to the surface. It rose up from the sea and stared back down at you, and you back at it. It slowly opened its mouth once more. You couldn't scream or move. The sounds around you dulled. The voice of the captain barking orders, the crew yelling, the rain pounding against the deck, the wind howling, the thunder beating. It moved back down, far more slowly than before. A thick liquid dripped out from its mouth, splattering the deck. You closed your eyes. Use that power, man. "Jake!" A voice pierced the darkness. You peeked through one eye as the fangs of the beast closed around you. The sight of a man with a drenched mane charging forward. You felt yourself falling, the wind whipping around your clothes, the clouds and the sky in your view. It was cold, but something warm cradled you close. There was no telling which way was up or which way was down. The waves whipped around you cruelly with no hope of abeyance. Nature had you by the scruff of your neck over a chasm called death. You tried swimming to the surface, completely oblivious if you were even moving in the right direction. Debris from the ship hurtled all around you, bumping and scraping into you from all sides. You were sure that this would be your grave. Thoughts of the pool of light back home drifted to the front of your mind. Perhaps this too was nothing more than a vision. Your chest and throat burned from holding your breath too long. Salt water invaded your lungs as you breathed in. Maybe this was just a dream after all. Ooh. Leon! Leon, I need to go to the bathroom. Leon? Leon, where are you? Do you not understand the danger you are in? That isn't for you to be concerned about. As your protector, it is. Leon? I don't care about my safety. We can't leave the capital alone. Then at least keep set. No, the two of you will be riding with them as well. And who is going to watch you? Leandros? Leandros? Oh, is that the queen? That's supposed to be the queen. He's still just a boy. And he's well accomplished for his age. You've seen his strength time and time again. There'll be plenty of other guards as well. This is foolish. How do you honestly expect me to ride off knowing you're putting yourself at risk? Nobru, it is all right. I'm ready. I can fight. What was Nobru? I don't care how skilled you think he is. This is not a matter that should be... Young master. Jake. We'll speak of this no more. Hey, you all right? Come on, don't die here. Never done something like this before. I apologize for this. Oh my god! Tropical island! Your eyes open and are met with bright blue skies and a glaring sun beating down on you. You gulp and instantly regret it as your throat sticks together and painfully peels apart from dehydration. Ah, looks like Sidon won't be claiming you tonight. Oh! Hello, handsome. Shark Man! 1 second, y'all. Water time. Well, drink in this rugged-looking, handsome man. Damn. The seas have been kind to this one's body. A deep voice startled you, but you were too far tired to react. Craning your head to the side, you look to see who it is and end up so wide-eyed you could almost feel them coming loose from their sockets. Kneeling down beside you was an enormous beastman, easily the size of Ramos. He was leaning in so close that you could have bumped heads. An unsettling smile spread across his face, revealed a set of pointed teeth, each as sharp as a new dagger. The mere sight of him set your hairs on end and your body into a fight-or-flight reaction. But you couldn't stand and run. Your muscles were weak and flimsy, like cooked green beans. Excuse me. Instead, you flailed around uselessly, kicking up sand in an attempt to crawl away. Whoa, easy there. Ain't gonna hurt you. Your attempts to escape were futile and you quickly ran out of breath. Yet despite the beastman's gruff voice, ragged-looking exterior, and intimidating aura, there was genuine concern in his tone. You were still wary, but your fear began to dissipate. Though soon after, a wave of nausea and disorientation took hold. A wretched feeling bubbled up from deep within your body, forcing you to quickly turn to your side and heave. Your lungs, throat, and mouth all stung as you coughed up what felt like the entire ocean. That's it, let it all out. The beastman placed an enormous hand on your back and started to rub, easing your discomfort. When the worst had finally passed, he removed his own shirt and handed it to you. Sorry, I don't have anything better. It looked damp and honestly a bit dirty. But despite being cautious of any sudden moves he was to make in the dingy state of the makeshift handkerchief, you ended up taking it and wiped off your mouth. Alright, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye!